परिशुष्यति।
अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण
दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण
युयुत्सुं समुपस्थितम्
युयुत्सुं समुपस्थितं
सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि
सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि
मुखं च परिशुष्यति.
मुखं च परिशुष्यति।
Word by word meaning like this. Arjun Vacha, Arjun said, Drishtva, after seeing Imam, all these, Swajanam, kinsmen, Krishna, O Krishna, Yusum, all in fighting spirit, Samupasthitam, present, Sidanti are quivering, Mama, my, Gatrani, limbs of the body, Mukham, mouth, Cha, also, Parishushati is drying up. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Please repeat after me. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Purport by Prabhupada. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods. Whereas non-devotees, however advanced he may be in material qualifications, by education and culture, lacks in godly qualities. Please listen very carefully. Very important purport. Be very attentive. Okay. I'll read once again. It's a very important paragraph. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods, whereas the non-devotee, however advanced he may be in material qualifications, by education and culture, lacks in godly qualities. As said, Arjuna, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends, and relatives on the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by compassion for them who had so decided to fight amongst themselves. As far as his soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning, but he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. And while he was so thinking, the limbs of his body began to quiver, and his mouth became dry. He was more or less astonished to see their fighting spirit. Practically, the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjuna, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind devotee like Arjuna. Although it is not mentioned here, still one can easily imagine that not only were Arjuna's bodily limbs quivering and his mouth drying up, but he was also crying out of compassion. Such symptoms in Arjuna were not due to weakness, but due to his soft heartedness. A characteristics of a pure devotee of the Lord. It is said, therefore, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati yakinchana sarve gunestatra samasate surah hara bhaktasya kuto mahatguna mano rathena sati dhavato bahi. One who has unflinching devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead has all good qualities of demigods. But one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. So, Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, very nice purport of this verse Prabhupada has written. So, we are meeting after 2 weeks for Bhagavad Gita session. So, quickly, briefly revise, okay, and then talk about this verse. Ramakrishna Prabhu, Meenal Mataji, Sunil Prabhu is not well. Switch on your videos. So, in the first verse, Dhritarashtra made an inquiry. Correct? Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharam Kshetre Kurukshetre. Correct? And in the second to 11th verse, we saw Duryodhan observing the army. Correct? He went to Dronacharya, instigated him. Correct? In 12 to 19, we saw different indications of Pandava's victory. Positive indication that it is Pandavas who are going to win the battle. And 20 to 27, we saw Arjuna was observing the army. Right? And he wanted to see who are the supporters on both the sides. And he requested Krishna to take the chariot where? In the middle of both the armies. Correct? And then 26 and 27, Arjuna saw all the relatives. His grandfathers, uncles, brothers, grandsons, everybody, different generations gathered in the battlefield to fight with Arjuna and his brothers. He saw Bhishma Pitama, who used to feed him, who used to make Arjuna sit in his lap and feed him. Khale beta, khale. Khale Arjuna, khale. And today Arjuna is expected to shoot an arrow and the Bhishma. Then he saw Dronacharya, his guru, who taught him how to hold bow and arrow, how to shoot. And today he is expected to shoot back on his guru. So when he saw different relatives, he became very overwhelmed with compassion. And today, that continues. And Arjuna will present first reason why he should not fight the battle. So total Arjuna will present 5 reasons why he should not fight the battle. 4 reasons will come in first chapter, and 5th reason will come in the beginning of second chapter. Okay. So today we'll discuss about first reason, why he refused to fight the battle. I'll read again today's verse. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna." So first time Arjuna is taking the name of Krishna. Krishna has come for the first time. Dishtvemam Swajanam Krishna. Krishna means what? I have told earlier. What is the meaning of Krishna? Sarva Akarshati iti Krishna. One who attracts everyone. That's the meaning of Krishna. And there's only one word in the whole of Sanskrit dictionary which means Sarva Akarshak, one who attracts everyone, every living entity. Krishna. So he said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit." Now, this fighting spirit is not abnormal for a Kshatriya, isn't it? What is the meaning of Kshatriya? Kshatriya. Khat plus Triya. Khat means injury, and Triya means protection from injury. A Kshatriya is supposed to protect his subjects from injury, from any kind of problem, any kind of threat. So, and for that, if he has to fight, he will fight. So one of the qualities of Kshatriya is aggression, anger, violence. And this is a natural quality of a Kshatriya. That's why such people are made the rulers. If they have to maintain law and order, and for that, if they have to punish, they're always ready to punish, even kill. Right? So, punishing, fighting is natural for a Kshatriya. Right? And Arjuna also was a Kshatriya, and he had displayed or demonstrated these symptoms many times in past. So he fought so many battles. He had even. Just hold on. Yeah. So this is Kshatriya. So, being violent in a battlefield is natural for a Kshatriya. But here, Arjuna, who is a great warrior, great Kshatriya, is filled with compassion. And he's even, we'll see, even refusing to fight. A Kshatriya is always ready to give up his life in the battlefield, but will never give up fighting spirit. Jaan jaye par vatan na jaye. This kind of spirit they carry. Then he says, and why he is refusing to fight? Dishtvemam swajanam Krishna. Swajanam. He saw whom on the battlefield? He saw whom? Swajanam. Swajanam का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of swajanam? Dipesh Prabhu.
Your own.
Swajanam. My own people. My own family. My brother, my father, my son. When we say my means what? My means what? Himanshu Prabhu?
Attachment to.
Attachment. So all these Swajanam relatives are on bodily platform. You know, father of this body, wife of this body, children of this body, parents of this body, relatives of this body. Now, this is a very narrow definition of Swajanam. Very narrow. On a bodily platform. But the real Swajanam means what? Real Swajanam expands our horizon, brings broad mindedness. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Mamev Ansh Jeev Loke Jeev Bhuta Sanatana. He says every living entity is my Ansha, my part and parcel. Like here, माँ बाप कह सकते हैं कि ये बच्चा हमारा अंश है. My son is my part and parcel. My daughter is my part and parcel. And it's true. Similarly, Krishna says every living entity is my part and parcel. So on a platform of body, our family is this limited few members in my house or my relatives. On a bodily platform, very few Swajanams. But on a platform of soul, everybody is our Swajanam. Normally, our compassion is limited to our Swajanam, our relatives, our kinsmen, our family. Isn't it? Very few people. But real compassion is when one demonstrates compassion on the platform of soul, wherein it thinks everybody is my relative. And that is true also. You are a soul. Mr. Kavra is a soul. Om Prakash Bhargav is a soul. Preeti Mata is a soul. Everybody is a soul. So on the platform of soul, everybody is related to each other. Why? Everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna. समझ पा रहे हैं? So real definition of Swajanam is what? On a bodily platform, Swajanam brings attachment. Correct? And this compassion is also not real compassion. If your own is sick, you feel compassionate. If some neighbor is sick, we don't feel compassionate. Why? If my own son is hurt, I feel compassionate. If my neighbor's son is hurt, I don't feel compassionate. Isn't it? This is attachment, material attachment on a bodily platform. Correct? But on the platform of soul, one is compassionate for every living entity, be it a small ant or a human being or an elephant or a dog or a cat, each and every, because he is able to see what? In every living entity, there are two entities. One is soul, one is super soul. One is living entity, and second is Paramatma. In every living entity. So one who develops a vision to see these two in every living entity, he is a devotee of the Lord. And one who is not able to see this, he is materialist. Because materialist means he can see through only material vision. But devotee is able to see through spiritual vision. Right? So his horizon of compassion is far, far higher than horizon of compassion for a materialist. Make sense? Yeah. So a devotee does not consider or brings barriers like I am Hindu, he is Muslim, he is Sikh, he is Isai. This is a very material vision to see differences based on body. But on a platform of soul, there is no Muslim, there is no Christian, there is no Russian. Everybody is part and parcel of the Supreme. So if at all we want to bring unity, peace in the society, it can only happen on a spiritual platform, not on material. Material vision divides and spiritual vision unites. Make sense? Material vision means मैं और मेरा. And spiritual vision sees everybody on the platform of soul, not on the platform of external body. That's why if one wants to lead a spiritual life, the first knowledge he has to acquire is what is the difference between body and soul. And when Krishna starts speaking Bhagavad Gita in second chapter, his first subject is this. This is called Sankhya Yoga. When Krishna will talk about differences between body, how they are different, how one is perishable, how one is eternal, how one is miserable and one is blissful, right? So anyone who claims to be spiritual, सब लोग बोलते हैं हम अध्यात्मवादी हैं, हम धार्मिक हैं, and if he does not understand difference between body and soul, he is not dharmic, he is not spiritual, and he cannot be spiritual. Simply by rotating some incense in front of a picture does not make one dharmic, spiritual. A lot of people in India, they offer incense in front of some pictures, but they don't have real understanding of spirit and matter. Right? What is soul and what is body? What is matter? And what's the difference between the two? And what is the real identity? Yeah. So unless one develops his understanding, he cannot become spiritual. He's simply making a fool out of himself. The first subject matter to be learned in spirituality is subject of soul. And unfortunately, Mr. Mahajan, this subject is not taught anywhere in the world. There are, I don't know how many universities, some 32,000 universities we have across the world, and there's no department which teaches this important subject of body and soul. So our material education system is not designed to make one spiritual. It's designed to make one materialist and waste his life. Very, very important. So unless we develop a system wherein children are right from the beginning are given this information, this knowledge, what is their real identity? His beginning of life itself is misdirected. Right in the beginning. Bhagavatam suggests right from the age of 5 years, one should be taught. One should be given spiritual education. 5 years. And you can figure out how many years we wasted. Isn't it? Somebody would have wasted 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. And we did not learn ABC of spiritual life even till now. Yeah. So when we understand body and soul, then we can see everybody as our Swajanam, not only blood related relatives. Clear? Yeah. Who is our Swajanam? And who is our best Swajanam? It is Krishna who is the best Swajanam. Swajanam means, one who cares. One who loves us unconditionally. That is Swajanam. Do you think in material life anyone loves us unconditionally? Anyone? No one. There's no one. Every relationship is based on certain conditions. You do this and I will do this. But love is unconditional. Correct? And who loves us the most and how it is demonstrated? When we leave the body, based on our karma, we may get a body of an ass, an ant, a cow, elephant, plant, or demigod, anybody. All our relatives will leave us when we leave the body. Correct? No one will go along with us. Yes or no? But there is one person who does not leave us anytime. It is Paramatma, the super soul, Krishna. Any body we get into, whether it is an ant's body, Krishna will accompany us as Paramatma everywhere. So who is our real Swajanam? Who does not leave us in any condition, even we worship him or we don't worship him. We consider him as God, we don't consider him as God. He is not going to leave us. Till the time we leave this material world, he is going to accompany again and again, again and again, again and again. So the best friend or best relative or best Swajanam is only one person. Make sense? Yeah. So if he is the only one person who loves us unconditionally, to what extent we should be surrendered? Let me put a question to all of you. What is our duty as his parts and parcels? What is the duty of a soul?
A devotional service and always remembering Krishna in whatever we do.
Yes. So devotional service. So we also should reciprocate through different loving services. Right. Anyone else? Anyone else?
And we should fully surrender to the lotus feet.
Fully surrender. Very good. See, always remember, and this we'll learn in 5th chapter. Right? Krishna gives a peace formula. Bhoktaram yagtapasam sarvalok maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam Gyatvamam Shantim Rachati. Shantim Rachati. Who can remain peaceful in this material world? And this is called peace formula. 5th chapter, last verse, 28th number verse, 28th or 29th. Bhoktaram Yagtapasam Sarvalok Maheshwaram Suhurdam Sarvabhutanam Shantim Gyatvamam Shantim Rachati. The materialist thinks he is an enjoyer. Everything is for his enjoyment. Correct? That is the mindset of a materialist. जो भी है सब मेरे मजे के लिए, सब मेरे आनंद के लिए. Yes or no? This house, this family, opulence, money, everything is meant to give joy to me. That is the mindset of a materialist. And we also are still materialists. right? But the mindset of spiritualists is what? Bhoktaram. There's only one enjoyer, and that is Krishna, not me. Very big difference. Only one proprietor of everything, Krishna, not me. And how it makes him peaceful? Bhoktaram means if Krishna is supreme enjoyer and I am to be enjoyed by Krishna, I am not supposed to be enjoyer. Very big difference. I am meant for Krishna's enjoyment. And I enjoy by being enjoyed by Krishna. Write this down. My enjoyment is in by being enjoyed by Krishna. My enjoyment is not trying to enjoy this material world. My enjoyment is in by being enjoyed by Krishna. Like this hand is a part and parcel of this body. Correct? This hand gets nourishment when this hand serves this body, serves the mouth. This hand itself cannot enjoy. Can it enjoy? आप खाना खाते हैं, यदि हाथ सोचे कि मैं आज से मुंह को क्यों दूं, I should enjoy myself. Why should I give it to mouth or the belly? It is meant for my enjoyment. This gulla is meant for my enjoyment. If this hand thinks, and this hand does not put this morsel of food into the mouth, what will happen to this hand? What will happen? If this hand tries to enjoy independently, what will happen?
Will not be able to relish it.
Not relish, no nourishment.
Nourishment.
Unless this hand puts morsel of food into the mouth, there is no nourishment back to this hand. Yes or no? Similarly, when we as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord serves the Supreme Lord, there is a reverse flow of nourishment to the soul. The soul is nourished only with this reverse flow from Krishna, cannot be nourished independently. Like this hand cannot nourish itself independently, a soul cannot be nourished independently. Everybody in this material world, the problem is trying to enjoy independently, trying to exploit resources of this material world independently. That is the root cause, that is the disease of the soul. And spiritual life is basically to put him back into his original position of serving Krishna, of whom he is a part and parcel. That is spiritual life. Go back to your original position and become happy. Go back to your original position or natural position and be happy. So natural position for this hand is to serve the body. Natural position for the soul is to serve the Supreme Soul. जिसका वो हिस्सा है. If you are able to understand this, done with spiritual life. Oh yeah. If that is the case, then all our actions should be directed in that direction. All our actions are meant to satisfy Krishna. Then there is a reverse flow of joy, nourishment. That's why devotee can be joyful in any material condition. And a non-devotee cannot be joyful in any opulent condition. I was discussing in the morning class, you take example of Kamsa, correct? Kamsa had put his own sister and brother-in-law, Devaki and Vasudev, in the prison house. And all of you know this? नहीं पता है? Kamsa had a sister with the name Devaki. And Devaki's husband was Vasudev. And there was a celestial announcement that 8th son of Devaki will kill Kamsa. And Kamsa got scared. And Kamsa put his sister, own sister, and brother-in-law both in the prison house. So let there be 8 children of my sister, and I'll kill one by one all of them. So both of them are in prison house, and Kamsa is in his royal, palace. When Krishna appeared in the womb of Devaki in the prison house, Kamsa is sleeping on a cozy bed and in his, royal palace, surrounded with all the facilities, all the opulences, servants, wine, big mansion, so many wives, nice clothing, everything. But he's miserable. He's fearful. Amidst all opulences, he is fearful. But in the prison house, Devaki, when Krishna appears in her womb, she becomes effulgent. She becomes joyful. So Devaki, Vasudeva are joyful in the prison house, and Kamsa is miserable, fearful in his palace. So what brings peace and joy in this material world? It is not opulence, it is Krishna. Satchit Ananda. Krishna is full of Ananda. So we don't have to become Kamsa and just run after material opulence. It is not going to help bring joy, bring peace. Only connecting back with Krishna is going to bring joy. Unless you connect, there is no flow. Flow of joy from the source of joy. Flow of joy from the source of joy. And source of joy is Krishna. Real Swajanam, real relative, real friend. And then Prabhupada writes in the purport that Arjuna is displaying very divine qualities. He is not feeling scared because of, he's fearful of fighting or feeling threatened. His heart is very soft. Because of soft-heartedness, he's feeling compassionate for his relatives. And then Prabhupada says, all devotees naturally develop good qualities. Naturally. And all non-devotees or materialists have, even if they may be highly educated materially, but they do not have good qualities. In 16th chapter, there's that 2-3 verses on what are the good qualities, and then followed by what are the bad qualities. We'll see. Materialists normally have all the bad qualities. Externally, they may look very civilized. Why? Because they wear nice clothing, they travel in big car, they stay in big mansion houses, but they may not have good qualities. What are good qualities? Compassion, integrity, truthfulness, tolerance, self-control, forgiveness. Yeah. No envy, no greed. These are good qualities. And one who is connected back with the Supreme, he naturally develops good quality. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana. One who is serving Krishna unconditionally, he develops good qualities automatically. So if you want our children to develop good character, they must be connected with Krishna, with spiritual life. Otherwise, very difficult. Why non-devotees cannot develop good qualities? Harav avaktasya kuto mahatguna manorathe nasati. They simply follow their mind or desires manifested in the mind. A devotee follows scriptures, sadhu, guru, and shastra, and non-devotee follow their mind. Mind is their guru. Whatever mind tells, they will do. Mind will tell, I need this car, they will go ahead. Mind will tell, I need bigger house, they'll go ahead. Mind will tell, I latest mobile, they'll go ahead. But a devotee follows guru, sadhu, and shastra. Scriptures, spiritual master, and any saintly person. They follow their advices. They don't follow their mind. They know mind is a dirty place, is a factory of umpteen desires. They don't follow mind. जो मन को अच्छा लगे जरूरी नहीं है हमारे लिए अच्छा, और जो मन को अच्छा नहीं लगे जरूरी नहीं है कि वो अच्छा नहीं। जैसे सुबह उठना मन को अच्छा नहीं लगता है, getting up early, your mind will never agree. Yes or no? यदि आपको बोला जाए सुबह 4 बजे उठना है, आपको कल जपा सेशन है, 4 o'clock morning we'll have japa session, your mind will say no, no, no. Who will get up at 4 o'clock? Right? But a devotee, because the advice has come from a scripture or a saintly person, he will follow even though mind is saying no, no, no. This is the difference between devotee and materialist. Materialist will follow his mind, no, no, no. And he will follow scripture. Yes, we should get up 4 o'clock because it is the best time to perform spiritual sadhana, spiritual life. Brahma Muhurat. Yeah. Mind will say, pick up wine, no problem. Scripture will say, no, no, no. No intoxication. Mind will say, what is the problem? Everybody is drinking. Why should I not? But scripture will say, no, we should not. We should regulate. So everybody has two choices to follow. Follow directions. You make your mind your guru, or make scripture your guru, or sadhu, or shastra your guru. Right? The devotee follows scriptures, non-devotee follows mind. And when we follow scriptures, we manifest or cultivate all good qualities naturally. So this is the point Prabhupada has made. And then next verse, 29th verse. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. So the result of, extreme compassion he is feeling, he is showing other bodily symptoms. Yeah, hairs are standing up, and his gandiva, his bow and arrow, very, very dear to Arjuna, and that also slipping from his hand. My, skin is burning. Arjuna is confessing to his friend Krishna, sharing his heart with Krishna. Krishna, I am not able to tolerate this. I'm not able to withstand this. I can't see that I am killing my own kinsmen. Swajanam. The first reason is compassion, wherein Arjuna refuses to fight the battlefield, seeing his own blood-related relatives. यदि वहां भीष्म द्रोणाचार्य नहीं होते तब मारने में उसको दिक्कत नहीं थी, क्योंकि वो स्वजनम नहीं थे. है ना? So his definition, current definition स्वजनम is द्रोणाचार्य भीष्म. And then 30 number he says, I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune of Krishna, killer of Krishna. Yeah. So these 2-3 verses, Krishna is presenting compassion as a reason for not fighting the battle. We'll discuss in further detail other verses in the next session. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes, Dipesh.
So I was just reflecting on what you said right now about the mind, not using the mind to make decisions. But in life, if you have to make choices, like you have to make decisions. So how do you, and then again, not all decisions are based always on logic, but the decisions which are determined by logic, the mind can help. So is that a right way or not?
So there's a hierarchy. Our bodily senses are controlled by mind. Mind is supposed to be controlled by intelligence. And intelligence is the near door neighbor of the soul. So soul uses intelligence. Intelligence uses mind to express desires, and mind expresses desire through senses. If you have to take decisions, you should work on your intelligence. It is intelligence which has the ability to discriminate. The function of mind is sankalpa vikalpa, accept it or reject it, accept it or reject it. Ye acha hai, ye bura hai, ye acha hai, ye bura hai. But what brings discrimination? Kaun sa acha, kaun sa bura? It is intelligence. And how to sharpen intelligence is by reading scriptures. Scriptures provide you that knowledge and intelligence with which you can take right decisions. So, scriptures, sadhu, and shastra. Scriptures, Guru, sadhu, and shastra. These three sources you have to take advice from to take right decision in your life. Okay, basically follow Krishna's instruction to take right decision. Don't follow your mind, because mind is currently contaminated. It is acting like an enemy. Krishna will tell in the 6th chapter, mind if not controlled is our biggest enemy, and mind if controlled is our biggest friend. Currently, we are carrying an enemy within us, so we should be careful. There is no enemy outside. It's within us. Our mind. Yes, Mahajan Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
आपका हर लेक्चर जो है वो इतना ज्ञान डालता है अंदर कि डाइजेस्ट करने में टाइम लगता है, मगर वो एक हफ्ता उसके माइंड में रहता है, हमारे माइंड में रहेगा वो। अजी अभी आपने आज कहा कि 5 साल के बच्चे से ही शुरू करनी चाहिए भगवद गीता, और मैंने आपसे जब शुरू में आपसे साथ जुड़ा था मैं, तो आपने कहा था कि भाई ओनली वे टू चेंज दिस वर्ल्ड इज फॉलोइंग भगवद गीता, और मैंने आपको ये कहा था कि भाई व्हाई डोंट वी स्टार्ट एजुकेशन इन द स्कूल। मैं आप आज से शेयर करना चाहता हूँ कि 2 खबरें मैंने पढ़ी हैं कि गुजरात में कमिंग सेशन से 6th क्लास से भगवद गीता कंपलसरी हो रही है। जय प्रभु। और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ कर्नाटका ने, सीएम ने अनाउंस कर दिया है कि करिकुलम में भगवद गीता इंक्लूड करी जाएगी। तो इसके लिए मैं आपको धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ कि आपकी कोई मूवमेंट है जो काम कर रही थी। मैंने आपको कहा था
नहीं प्रभु जी, ये प्रयास काफी समय से चल रहा है ना?
हाँ,
गोइंग ऑन।
तो मुझे बड़ा खुशी हुई इस बात से कि ये शुरू हो गया है, इसके लिए मैं आपका धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ।
प्रभुपाद को धन्यवाद बोलना चाहिए। He brought this, movement
Thank you.
to preach Bhagavad Gita across the world.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mahajan Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Bombay में है, but still he is ensuring that doesn't miss the class. So thank you for your dedication, commitment. It's wonderful. Yes, Shweta Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभु जी, मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि जनरली आई मीन ट्रुथ है ये, कृष्णा विद कृष्णा के लिए, लॉर्ड कृष्णा के लिए हम लोग बर्थ एंड डेथ का वर्ड यूज में नहीं लेते हैं, अपीयर एंड डिसअपीयर। बट हम जब जो ये बर्थडे ऑफ कृष्णा को जन्माष्टमी क्यों कहते हैं?
We celebrate a day on which Krishna appeared, correct? And Janmashtami is actually a word which is to be used only for Krishna, not for anybody else. And in general, people do not understand what is appearance and disappearance. You and me now can understand, correct? मुझे बताइए बाहर कितने लोग समझते हैं this word called appearance and disappearance. Still you see so many messages flowing in your WhatsApp group. Krishna पैदा हुए, Krishna is in मरे. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
है ना? तो क्योंकि वो अष्टमी के दिन प्रकट हुए और साधारणतः लोग प्राकट्य को जन्म के रूप में देखते हैं, इसलिए जन्म जन्माष्टमी.
So एक वर्ड और था गोकुलाष्टमी और जन्माष्टमी और गोकुलाष्टमी.
गोकुलाष्टमी.
कॉल गोकुलाष्टमी.
गोकुलाष्टमी ने कभी सुना नहीं. गोकुलाष्टमी आई हैव नेवर हर्ड.
तो उसी में दिखा था.
कुछ और शब्द होगा.
तो गोकुलाष्टमी ही था, सो गूगल किया था.
हाँ, उसको मतलब कि बोल सकते हैं गोकुलाष्टमी.
So basically
Krishna was taken on the very first day when he was born. He was taken from Mathura to Gokul, है ना, on the Ashtami day. So उसको गोकुलाष्टमी बोल सकते हैं technically, है ना. The same day he was transferred. Also they took him from Mathura to Gokul. We can call it Gokulashtami also. Okay, anyone else? No more question? All right. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week again. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.